Welcome to Addingham from Addingham Garden Friends. In this short presentation I'll tell you about some of the things that you won't see on your tour this morning, even though it will be a pretty comprehensive look at the village. These are things which we've gone on in the last 9 months while we've been preparing for today. The story starts last September when we were delighted to receive a gold award and be category winner at the Yorkshire in Bloom Awards ceremony. This was followed by the invitation to enter Britain in Bloom, which was discussed at our regular monthly planning meeting and, obviously, resulted in a majority vote in favour of entering. So, as the nights drew in and the leaves coloured up, and the winter garden in the hen pen glowed with colour, we started a publicity campaign to spread the word round the village in preparation for the effort ahead. This included newspaper publicity and a talk at Civic Society meeting. We've been delighted and greatly encouraged by the support that we received from them, the Civic Society, and also from the parish and district councils, local charities, and many other village groups and individuals, particularly from the youngsters, with the primary school, the preschool playgroup, the Beavers, and the Brownies all helping the campaign. It really does feel, and I think show, that the whole village is behind us, as you'll see shortly. During the winter, preparations started in earnest, helped by generous financial grants, which included money for 17 new ornamental trees to commemorate the Queen's Jubilee, some of which you see being planted here, to turn this rather bare corner into this, and others shown here to add interest to Sugar Hill. We had finished a major redesign and replant of our central garden, the hen pen garden, changing it from this rather dated layout to this. But when we took a critical look round the village to identify any weak spots needing attention, we found that some did, such as the playground bed shown here, which now looks like this. Working parties followed, and in a typical joint effort, some fine horse manure was given by a local farm, collected by Bradford Council, and dug in by Garden Friends, all working together. Again, we felt that this, the front of the Memorial Hall, which is our village meeting place, looked rather bare. With only a hint from us, the Hall Management Committee gave us a grant which allowed the purchase of these 3 planters, which were filled with compost supplied by Bradford, planted by Garden Friends. These complement these across the road at the Fleece Pub, and we have since put 2 more matching planters at Bolton Road and Church Street. Into the new year, the village was brightened up by the first flowers, snowdrops at Church Orchard and crocuses at the primary school, and then the wild daffodils at Marchap Gill Nature Reserve. 15 new bird boxes, mostly made by a supporting villager, were erected at the Nature Reserve, and a selection of new hedging shrubs also planted there to increase the biodiversity. Later, there were hundreds of cowslips, red campion, and many other flowers there. We have done much to encourage wildlife, with the Nature Reserve, new wildflower area on Sugar Hill, and pollinator-friendly planting throughout the village, but especially in the hen pen and in this new planter on Church Street. We are fortunate to live in a village surrounded by open country, and nature comes right into the centre, with this dipper dipping away in Town Beck, just a few yards from the traffic on Main Street. In spring, Addingham is a village of daffodils, and coach parties have come to see them. Our lovely and ancient parish church is surrounded by them. And the roads into the village are lined with them. Here they are on Sugar Hill, and they're also featured in our gardens, complementing the colourful spring bedding. This view of the cottage's garden shows the new wall which had just been built for us by Bradford Council with stone from a local farmer. It has now been planted up with colourful alpines. In March we had this plant stall at the village spring flower show organised by the Allotments and Gardens Association, in which several friends also competed. Stall holders are here seen holding copies of a Britain in Bloom publicity leaflet which we distributed at the show, and which was also included in a Civic Society newsletter circulated round the village. The Addingham Garden Friends are working hard to make the village as pretty as possible, but sometimes we need a bit of help from others, and here we employed child labour from the preschool playgroup to help us plant bluebells on Sugar Hill. Here we see our band of willing helpers popping 5 bulbs into each hole and stamping down the ground to make them grow.
They look like big girls' flowers, not like baby ones.
I reckon they are, don't you?
Right. Still got some.
Okay. Put another one in there at the end, and then we'll make another hole for those.
Right. Please do. Can you put
So
one in, Harvey?
you guys will probably end up in our brochure.
Oh, well, I wish I
Isn't that right, Don?
Yes, indeed.
put my best jacket on.
Yeah.
We're rushing to get here.
What?
We've just done ourselves. Look, haven't we, Harvey?
Have you?
Yeah.
Right. Just,
We've got a gardener in us. To want to help.
well, that's
For
something.
design. Oh, it's
Well done. Anyone in there? You going to do one, Oscar? Put one in there.
Most of the kids got stuck into the task, but some seemed a little less enthusiastic.
You planted bluebells? Yes, you have. You look a little bit happier about it.
I'll just say let's do the best smile for the Gazette.
This is the team photo with everybody supposedly saying bluebells for the camera. But they say that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So the kids just had to let off steam running up and down the bank before going home. Altogether we planted 500 bluebells and hundreds of snowdrops, as well as cowslips, Danes violet and sweet cicely, to make Sugar Hill a prettier place. Very many thanks to all the children, and not forgetting their mothers, for the hard work. Some of these new bluebells were flowering when, later, the Beaver Scouts built a hotel for bugs and wee beasties on the same site.
Oh, very cool. family runs.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited.
3 weeks ago we had a very successful village gala, which started with a parade through the village in which the brownies put on a display featuring the Britain in Bloom entry. Here we see them in their colourful outfits at the start, and in the parade they had a band to escort them. They came second in the judging of the parade groups. Well done, brownies! During the last few weeks, much work has been done to improve the village, spurred on by the Britain in Bloom campaign. The parish council has repainted the old Victorian street nameplates, changing them from this to this. Bradford Council have replaced many rubbish bins and installed new ones. And the Civic Society recently organised a village clean-up in which many members and villagers scoured the village for litter. And the Civic Society have also decorated this burnt-out shop to make it look like this, with familiar names over the door. The streets have been swept, weeds removed, and lots of titivation carried out. Many villagers have helped the campaign by putting out colourful hanging baskets and containers. Little George Street has made a very special effort, and all the baskets throughout the village have just been judged for the village competition, as have the commercial frontages and the allotments. These awards will be presented at the Summer Flower Show next week. So now we feel that we are as ready as we ever will for your inspection. We would certainly have liked more sunshine to bring the flowers out fully, but unfortunately the weather's one thing we cannot alter. As I said at the beginning, this has been a real community effort, with lots of individuals and organisations helping to make Addingham as pretty as possible. We hope that you will enjoy your look at our lovely village.